We're here at Lahon Elementary School. We're going to talk to one of Elvis's school friends, Shirley Jones, Gillentine. Shirley, thanks for coming here today.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. I'd love to hear some of your stories. You went to school here with Elvis, right?
Yes, I did. He was in the 5th grade and I was in the 3rd grade, and we sang in chapel each morning here at the school. And his 5th grade teacher was in charge of the chapel program, and sometimes she had us to do other things besides sing, and sometimes I sang with Elvis, duet with Elvis.
Oh.
And I sang You Are My Sunshine. I remember that song. And we had prayer and devotional, and then a little program afterwards.
What was the teacher's name?
Ms. Olita Grimes was his 5th grade teacher.
Okay. And so did you kind of run around and play with Elvis, or was it just the guys that kind of...
Well, he was 2 years older and he had his own friends, but we just, mostly we met in chapel each morning and did our singing together.
Oh, okay. And that chapel building is still standing here on this grounds? The old building is still here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you were the first woman to sing a duet with Elvis, is that correct?
Well, I don't know if I was the first, but I did sing with him.
Well, it could have been. Could have been the first. Now, there's a famous talent show, or at least one that I've heard about before, in 1945.
Yes.
And he was in the talent show. How about... Tell me about your experiences there.
When our principal announced that the fairground, which the Fair Association was going to have a talent show, they chose Elvis and I to represent Lahorn to go sing that day. It was on Children's Day, and I remember going over on the school bus with Elvis and going down to the fairground when it was time for the talent show, and I had to stand on a stool to sing. I don't remember if Elvis did or not because it was a tall microphone. And I sang My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time, and he sang Oh Shep. And I won 1st place and he won 5th place.
You beat Elvis?
Right.
You beat Elvis in that contest and he won 5th prize?
Right.
Did he win a trophy?
No, I later heard that he on an interview that he had given from a Memphis broadcast that he won 5th place and $5. And I won 1st place and a $25 war bond and a trophy.
Oh.
And free rides to all the rides in the fair.
Well, that must have been fun.
It was.
Do you remember singing, or were you nervous?
Oh, yes, I remember singing in the contest.
Yeah. Was it broadcast on radio or anything?
Oh, yes, it was.
It was?
The contest was sponsored by WLO in Tupelo radio station.
Oh, so you had your first radio show in the contest.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, tell me a little bit about being on stage.
Well, we just took our turn to sing, and like I say, I had to stand on a stool.
Yeah.
I was a little girl. I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Back then, the mics were very tall. They didn't, have adjusted mics like they do this day and time.
Now, when they awarded all the prizes, were you all standing as a group?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we after the contest was over, the audience, excuse me, the audience determined the winner by applause, and I guess I must have won most applause.
Really?
Yeah.
The audience did?
Right.
Oh, okay. So you got the 1st prize.
Right.
What kind of trophy did you get?
It was a pretty big trophy. When I was little, I could hardly carry it.
You were holding it in your hands, and it was as big as you?
Well, almost.
Really?
Right.
Goodness gracious. And do you remember what Elvis looked like then?
Well, he was a shy young boy, and his hair was light. I remembered after he became famous, I always remembered him being light hair. When I saw his dark hair on stage, I didn't really connect with that Elvis. I was the young boy that sang in chapel with me.
Oh, so he had light brown hair.
Light hair.
Light hair.
Blonde.
Almost blonde? Oh, goodness. That's not the Elvis that most people recognize.
I know.
Oh, they think of the dark hair.
I know.
So you sang on stage in the talent show and you sang with Elvis in chapel, did you think it would go anywhere? That he would go on to be a famous star, or?
Well, the only thing I really remember is about Elvis in his singing is he really liked to sing. He loved it. I guess more than the rest of us because we didn't go on like he did, but he really loved to do it. He liked to get up in front of people and perform.
But you had no clue he was going to be a big star?
Well, no, not really. Not at 8 years old, and not him at 10. I didn't. But
no.
I've always been so proud of him.
Yeah.
Proud to tell people that had known him at one time.
Yeah. Well, did you have any a chance to see Elvis or speak to him later on in life, or No,
not really. My friends did. I had a couple of good friends he used to come down to Tupelo and come to see them, and one of my best friends, Eloy Sandifer, was one of his first girlfriends, and she met up with Elvis in the hallway at one of the performances that he did in Tupelo, and he said, as they met, he said, well, Eloy Sandifer, and she said, well, Elvis Presley, and they embraced, and he said, well, I'll be dog.
I'll be dog. Oh, I'll be darned. And you didn't get a chance to meet with him?
I didn't really get a chance to meet him.
Okay.
I knew his relatives and all, but I didn't, get a chance to.
You knew his family?
Well, I knew of them because we all lived in the same community.
You lived here in this neighborhood?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I grew up here. I was born and raised in the same community.
Okay. Shirley, you both had a teacher that encouraged your talents.
Yes, Miss Alita Grimes she encouraged all the children that had any kind of talent to use it, and I'm sure Elvis she had a big influence on Elvis.
So much so that when he came back to Tupelo, he would see her?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. And he invited her to visit with him.
At Graceland?
Yes.
Oh, in Memphis?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
She let everyone know, even though we weren't the richest community in the world, that we could reach out and do as good as anyone else,
Oh, well, that's interesting. So so a lot of these people that went to school here were really kind of poor,
Well, we were maybe not rich, but we were rich in morals and values that our teachers and our ministers and all have given us.
And she encouraged you to kind of
to reach out and do bigger and greater things. She really did.
So it would have made an impact on Elvis.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. Well, the influence that teachers like Mrs. Grimes had on Elvis motivated him to go from 5th place at the talent show to bigger and better things.
Right.
Yes. Well, Shirley, you volunteered to do something for us. Give us a little sample of what it was like to perform at the talent show.
Well, I sang this little song. It was popular at that time. It was, well, what do you know? He smiled at me in my dreams last night. My dreams are getting better all the time. And what do you know? He looked at me in a different light. My dreams are getting better all the time. To think that we were strangers a couple of nights ago, and though it's a dream, I'd never dream we'd ever say hello. Well, maybe tonight he'll hold me tight when the moonbeam shines. My dreams are getting better all the time.
Oh, that was great.
Well, that was like,
oh,
it was cute.
That was great. That was a great song. Thank you, Shirley, for giving us that little song. I appreciate the stories you've told, and perhaps we'll meet again.
Perhaps.
And from one school, Lawhorn Elementary, we're going now to Milam Junior High. So come on, folks, follow me.
Okay.